The time has come now to be digging and lifting my dahlias from the garden. It might be time for you too, but it could be that you're doing this in a few weeks' time. Now, normally, people wait until their dahlias have been frosted. So the frost will come, it will blacken the leaves, it will kill off all the dahlias. And actually, some big dahlia farmers actually leave their tubers in the ground for a few weeks after the frost. But I'm not doing that. I have got a free day without football, without needing to be fussing about the kids. So I am taking this window of opportunity to come and cut the last of my dahlias and to lift my tubers. Now, there are a few things that you need to have ready to hand for this job. So you don't know what you're going to be lifting up. And actually, I have already lifted up two varieties that I was suspicious of, and I have discovered Dahlia gall. Now, you want to try and reduce the risk of spreading that to any of your other dahlias. So this one, Painted Girl, is a really, really healthy tuber, and there's nothing wrong with her. So what I desperately don't want to happen is to spread the gall to it. So you need to make sure that you are disinfecting any tools. So I've got a big bucket of bleach over there actually. Sometimes I use Jay's fluid. But yeah, you're going to need something to disinfect your tools. So I've got a bucket so that I can dunk my fork in. And I'm going to be cleaning my secateurs between each cutting because it can also get spread that way. So yeah, being really careful about stopping disease spread is really important. I think lots of people panic that once dahlia gall is in the border, that it means dahlias are then going to catch it again next year. Sometimes they might, but I have had experience of a particular position in the border where I did lift dahlia with gall, and I lifted the surrounding soil as well and got rid of that. And then I replanted a dahlia in the same place the following year and it didn't get gall. So I think sometimes it can, and it is very contagious and it can spread. It spreads through the soil. But it also can be contained. I think what you have to think, and what I've done for many years, is really the cost of a dahlia tuber is about between £5 and £8, would you say, maybe, for a variety that you might really, really want. Think how many months of flowers you get from that tuber. Just treat them as an annual. If they get gall, throw them out. If they don't get gall, that's a bonus, and you can keep them. That's just how I treat my dahlia border. So although there are varieties that I absolutely adore, like this one, if it were to get gall, I would just buy it again the next year. So just think about that. So yeah, that's the first thing that you need to be looking out for. So signs of disease. And you might find that you have had varieties this year where the flowers might be really small, the colour might be different to what you're expecting. You might have noticed markings on the leaves like yellowing or browning of the leaves. There are a few telltale signs that there could be something up. I had one in a pot, a totally tangerine, which really, the colour wasn't vibrant. It didn't look right. And when I lifted it out the pot, it had gall. So there are a few signs, and it could be that you've got a variety that just hasn't flowered. That too could mean that it's got disease. So that's really important. The next thing is, before you go snipping off all the blooms, make sure that the tuber is labelled. If you've got multiple tubers in a border like I have, you will forget what they are. I have done that before, lifted them, put them down, and I've said to myself, well, I'm not going to forget what that one is because that's American Dawn and it's the start of the alphabet and it's over there. Trust me, you'll forget. So actually what I've got today, because it's quick, and I couldn't find any string, I just had a roll of electrical tape in Ben's section of the garage. So I've got electrical tape and a garden marker pen. So I'm just going to whiz that around the stem. Then I'll show you how to store them to dry them off. And actually I like to write on the tuber with a Sharpie so that if anything falls off, they're definitely labelled. So you're going to need something to label them with. And it could be that you're watching this in preparation for digging in a few weeks' time. While you've got blooms on your plant, label them, because once the blooms stop, you might forget what plant it was. So definitely get them labelled. You are then going to want probably your compost bin for your healthy dahlia stems. You're going to need a garden fork, and I'm going to talk you through how you need to dig them. when Ben has dug them with me in the past, he doesn't care. He just used a spade. He was slicing through tubers. But, you know, we know what a tuber looks like. It's like a big clump of potatoes. You need to take your fork really wide, loosen the soil around, gradually get closer to the tuber, and hopefully you won't puncture it. So I'm going to start digging. Hopefully there will be lots of really healthy tubers, but I definitely know that we've got some more disease coming. So I'm going to pop these in a bucket of water and enjoy every second of these flowers. But yeah, it looks like it's actually stopped raining now, so it's a perfect time to get these lifted. So let's have a little look at my setup. I have got a pile here of healthy stems which can go in the compost. I have then got a pile of diseased stuff to go in the bin, and I had then put my gall tubers on here which need to go in the bin, but now it's rained, so this tray has filled up, which isn't ideal, but that's what I'm doing. So I'm keeping it very separate. I've then got a bucket to put any flowers which I'm going to bring inside and enjoy. I've then got I'm actually using tape and garden marker pen to label. And then once the healthy tubers are lifted and labelled, I'm going to pop them on this tray, and then I'm going to move them to a bucket where I will put them upside down to drain off. So that is everything. Let's have a look at one that I've just cut down. So if yours are still in flower, they probably won't be because you'll probably wait for the frost. Then your first job can be to cut all the flowers. Cut any flowers that you're going to enjoy, and then you can make a start on your first tuber. So I have done one already. So let's have a look. You will see that I've cut all the stems down to about this size. And actually the original plant label is here, Painted Girl. And actually lots of plant labels have got a hole on. So I could actually put a piece of string on there, tie it to the tuber, but you just don't want to be getting confused and forget what they are. So you'll see that I have cut this one down. It had enormous stems. I can't see any gall at the base, and it flowered prolifically. I have no concerns that this isn't healthy. I'm confident it will be. So that, I would say, is the first step. I like to get all mine at this stage and then dig them all out together. So cut them back, get them labelled, and then I'm going to be removing all of this netting because I would like to reuse it. But this is the stage you want to get yours to. So you want plenty of stem. And then with a garden fork, we are going to, I mean, you can kind of imagine where that tuber is, where that clump of potatoes is. It's going to be close to the base here. So you want to get your fork in nice and wide and slowly, slowly loosen the soil all around. What you don't want really is to be snapping off any tuber in the ground. So yeah, take it wide, take it slow. You're not in a rush. But yeah, that to me looks like a great healthy plant. We've then got one here. Interestingly, that one's only got one stem. I can't see any gall, but that's interesting that that only had one. Can't even tell you what that one is. I can't actually see any flowers on it, so yeah, I'm not sure what that one was. And there's no label there, which isn't helpful. But yeah, you want to be working your way along your border, just cutting and prepping and then ready for the digging. That's just how I like to do it. I just find it's a bit more organised, and also I always get disturbed, whether it's to go and feed kids, be the mum of taxi, the taxi of mum, whatever I get called to do. I just feel if I've done one step, it means if I get disturbed, I can just carry off where I've left off rather than being all in a muddle. So if everything's cut back and labelled, that's step one. If I then have time to do the digging, that's step two. Do you see what I mean? So that's just the method that works for me. Anyway, I need to go and get some more snips because I just broke a pair. This is another example actually. This is bluebell. Now bluebell I have grown for several years and it always gets gall. I don't know why. It never looks like it's got gall when it arrives, but I suspect there's something wrong with this one because look at the stems. They are so skinny and droopy and floppy. I just don't think that's normal. And it's been like it the whole season, and it was last year and the year before. Every year I'm like, oh, I'll buy another tuber from somewhere else and see if it's better, because I just love it. I love the dark petals on the back and the lighter petals on the front, but it just doesn't perform well. So I definitely, even if it hasn't got gall, I won't have it again, because it's no good as a cut flower. It's pretty, but it's no good. So yeah, that one I'm suspicious of. Don't think, I think I'm suspicious of this one. This is Miss Sophie, a new one to me this year. But honestly, I've had 5 flowers the whole season, and it was my first one to start flowering in July. The flowers are small, the stems look skinny. You can see like skinny, floppy. Yeah, there's something up with that. I don't believe that is a healthy tuber. And lots of these were new. In fact, it's kind of seeming like almost all the new ones had something wrong. So it'll be interesting to see when I pull them out what they're like. Labyrinth two-tone, you can see how big and healthy that is. I have no concerns about that one. I just think I'm a bit bored of it. I don't want that one for a 3rd year, so that one's going to a new home. What's this one? Oh, that's a stem from that one. So yeah, let's move on to the next stage, where I will keep on cutting and get them all to the same level. Right, so next step, I'm going to get this tape on while I can, and actually it stopped raining, which is great. I've never done it with electrical tape before. It just happens to be this is what I've got in the shed. I couldn't find my string anywhere, but I think this is going to do the job. I didn't think I liked this dahlia, but I've actually grown to love it. I think it's really cute. I never ordered it. It was a Sarah Raven surprise. I don't have any concerns about the health of this one, but you never know. Right, Sarah's surprise coming up. I think I need an apron. Oh, actually, I got sent an apron. A cooking apron. I wonder if that's got pockets. I'm going to go and have a look. I kid you not, this came in the post yesterday with some Christmas, with like a cookbook from the Taming Twins on Insta. I bet she didn't think I'd be using it in the garden, but this could be good. Because it's really annoying that I have to keep putting my tools down. Oh my god. I think I'm in my era where I need an apron in my life. Did I think that would happen when I'm not even 40? Anyway, and look, it's protecting my legs. Okay, this is a vibe. This is a vibe. Oh my god, I can even put my pen in there. I can't even tell you how happy this has made me. This is great. Right, again, this is another Dahlia surprise. I have no idea. Well, process of elimination has told me that this is Sarah Raven, R.I.P. City. I absolutely adore. Let me just check I've got this in shot. I adore this dahlia so much. It's just stunning, stunning, stunning. Love, love, love. There better not be anything wrong with that one. These 2 Sarah Raven surprises, I actually had bought them in the sale as potted dahlias. So I think they were maybe 2 litre pots. But yeah, they weren't what I ordered. One was blackjack and one was meant to be peaches. But they've actually, well, this RIP City has been an amazing mistake, because I absolutely love it, and I think I'll grow it every year forever because I love it that much. And the other one, yeah, I wasn't so overjoyed at that one, but you know, for less than a fiver, whatever, they filled a gap. But I can't see any signs of disease or anything yet. Right, I am now going to show you how to dig out a tuber. So this one is labelled Painted Girl. And like I said, you need to go really wide because you don't want to be puncturing a healthy tuber. So I always go really wide, and then you can get closer once you see what starts to wiggle. And you'll hear it start to lift, so I can hear that I'm getting close. And then grab your stem, and that is it. Give it a good old shake. That is enormous. To think that was a cutting last year. Look at the size of it. So this one is definitely going in my keep pile, and it's so enormous I'm going to be able to divide it. So I think I will even give that one a rinse through and see if there's any easy divisions to do on that. But yeah, that is one healthy, brilliant sized tuber. So that is two really good ones out, healthy. Loads more tubers have been produced this year. This one, interestingly, it doesn't look like it's produced any more tubers than when it went in. It's tiny. And that one didn't flower so well this year. And then what I've spotted over here is another telltale sign that gall is here. Gall is here, gall is near. Can you see all of these teeny tiny skinny stems? Sometimes this happens. So I don't know if that's coming. I think there's two here. I don't know which one it's coming from. So a few hours work and we're clear. I've got a lot of stuff to get rid of. So let me show you the tubers that I've taken up, but that is a good job done. So these are all the dahlias in my keep pile. I'm going to leave them in the sun to dry. I'm debating, I might give them a rinse because just rinsing just makes me be double certain that there's no gall. So I might bring the hose over and give those a rinse. And then over here is my pile of gally ones, which have got to go. So some were a surprise, some I could tell. So yeah, that's all got to go as well. But that is a really good job done. So that is one empty dahlia border. Right, then when you have rinsed them, you want to put them upside down like this to dry. The weather literally couldn't be more perfect for this job today because they will dry beautifully today.